In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up-and-coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said He would send plagues upon the earth before He frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today. Call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom. In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up-and-coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said He would send plagues upon the earth before He frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom.
I.S.U.P.K 53rd Annual Law.
Once Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You are here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God coming to save you.
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd Annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we stop that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, the IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
It's a lot of men down. You dealing with the menopause. We at war. I sided with the Lord.
Comes with all your dishes, pots, pans, forks, knives.
I kind of like this. This is like an apartment in a hotel. You know what I mean? Yeah. This here right here is about to be holy ground. It's going to be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the grades. I'm just trying to get it.
This is going to be glorious.
We don't give a fuck. You can see it in our faces. Got it out the mud, straight up out the base.
One no cowards in a tent, I.S.U.P.K 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God. Come on, to save you and your
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd Annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we talk that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites. The I.H.G. Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
There's a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I'm siding with the Lord of Lords. On one and two. We ain't never stopping.
Comes with all your dishes, pots, and sports knives.
I kind of like this. This is like an apartment and a hotel. You know what I mean? This here right here is about to be holy ground. It's going to be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
My camp undefeated. You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the grades. I'm just trying to get it.
This is going to be glorious.
We don't give a fuck. You can see it in our faces. Got it out the mud, straight up out the base.
I.S.U.P.K.
All right, Shalom, Israel. My name is Officer Kayad, one out of I.S.U.P.K, Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K is run by Commanding General YAHANNA, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say, Ya'awa Ba'asham, Ya'awa Shai Barakatam to my brothers. Ya'awa Shamar Alatan Ba'asham, Ya'awa Shai to my sisters. All right, so today is our Brotherhood, our Tuesday night Brotherhood class. You know what I mean? We'll basically talk about Brotherhood. You know what I mean? Something that the black people here in Jamaica is lacking so much of. You understand? And we're going to touch upon a story which, you know what I mean, which basically show exactly, you know what I mean, that city where we lack Brotherhood. And I'm talking the soldier killing a young man in West Kingston. So we're going to touch upon that later on. We'll also touch upon the Passover and also the mindset of our oppressor, which I broke down in a video yesterday. I'll be covering that first. You understand? All right. And we have to give thanks to the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding General YAHANNA, because, you know what I mean, without the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding General YAHANNA, certain things, you know what I mean, when it comes to race, you know what I mean, Who would know that? When it comes to the breakdown of the Bible and who the Bible is for, you know what I mean? Who would know them things there? You understand? When it comes to knowing who we are as a people, you would know that. You understand? When it comes to where do we fit in the Bible, you don't know nothing about that. You understand? Where it comes to, you know what I mean, why we go through the hell that we go through on this planet as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we would also never have known that. So we have to give thanks to General YAHANNA for holding down, you know what I mean, the truth for so long. When everybody left, he stayed, and it give a man like me and other brothers, the chance, even you listening right now, the chance to learn your history and learn your culture. You understand? And learn the reason why we go through this hell and how to fix that problem. You understand? So without further ado, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also leave your comments, interact with us. All right? All right, so we're going to read from out of a book, you know what I mean, that it was Officer Azahab, big up to Officer Azahab, you know what I mean, who donated this book to I.S.U.P.K, Jamaica, you know what I mean. Salakia Abadawan, sir, you know what I mean, when I finish read the book yet, I know I want to read our fight as well, but this is a very interesting book, and I'll try my best to go through it. You know what I mean? Quickly as possible. But this book basically breaks down how the oppressor views us. You understand? And may I tell you, by reading this book, it opens up the mind of the oppressor. And if, you know what I mean, I wish our people could read this book. Each and every single one of us could read this book. See? Because as far as this book is concerned, back in the, you know what I mean, in the 1800s, see, where this book is talking about sequence of events that took place in the 1800s, pre-revolution war, pre the what you call it, what them call a war there? Revolution, the United States revolution that took place. Them have a word, them have a term for it. Me so remember, see? So pre and post that revolution war, and you know what I mean, the oppressor discussions among oppressors, you know what I mean, the Caucasian, as to how they are going to, you know what I mean, deal with black people after, you know what I mean, the revolution. How are they going to you know what I mean, integrate us, if they're going to integrate us in their system, or should they separate from us? This book is talking about that, you know what I mean, and it also, you know what I mean, show you how little, how very small they look at us as a people. It's like, you know what I mean, the discussions that they have about us is as if we were, you know what I mean, we know white people treat dog good, so Moody even said dog. You see? It's more like a bird. You know what I mean? Like a little bird. Like we are just a nation of birds, and you know what I mean? We are nothing near human being. You understand? Yeah, man. Would I like our people to come to the I.S.U.P.K so that you can, you know what I mean, get introduced to, you know what I mean, them knowledge, as well as learn the Bible. You know what I mean? As well as learn the truth about the Bible. But may I tell you, this book, the book is called The Black Image in the White Mind. See? That is the book. And we are going to start read from page 158. And we are going to read to page 159. And may I tell you, if I had time, probably would I read a couple more pages, because every subject area in this book, brethren, just shows you how small the oppressor, and it is unbelievable. As me I read it, it is unbelievable. And you can imagine what our, you know what I mean, our foremothers and forefathers went through, or our forefathers and foremothers went through, you know what I mean, during slavery and recently after slavery, because all the oppressor, you know what I mean, how them communicate about us is so, you know what I mean. Yo, may I tell you. Anyway, we're going to jump into the reading now still, right? So we have a start, second paragraph, page 158. I want you to listen keenly. I try to read it as fluently as I can so you can hear what I go on. See? It says, the following year, the Reverend J.M. Sturtevant, president of Illinois College, wrote in the Continental Monthly on the destiny of the African race in the United States. So there was this reverend, a Christian pastor of the Caucasian race, right? Who, you know what I mean, who was having a discussion about the destiny of them call us Africans here now because, you know what I mean, the person who wrote this was a black man, and at this time we had no idea who we were as a people. See? So they also refer to us as the African race during this time, but we know that we are not Africans. We are the children of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites. You understand? However, they were having a discussion about, you know what I mean, our destiny. You know what I mean? And this was after them, you know what I mean, after America has become so rich, after with slavery. Now them I say, what we are going to do with them Negro here? You understand? All right, stay with me. Continue reading. And explained in detail exactly how black extinction would occur. This is a past, I know. So he might explain how black extinction would occur. So they were anticipating us to be extinct. You understand? They were anticipating for us to go extinct. You know, like how them say the dinosaur them go extinct. After slavery, they were anticipating us to go extinct. Bear in mind, many of us were still in slavery at this time, and probably most of us. But they were having discussion as to whether or not they should keep us in slavery. You know what I mean? Or they should emancipate us from slavery. And this Christian pastor was discussing how we would eventually go extinct. You understand? Let me continue reading. Zane. Stir the volume of the pastor, who was probably influenced by Bushnell, began by conceding that the white prejudice against black equality was insurmountable. Although most Americans believed that slavery was economically, socially, and politically and morally wrong, the fear of a growing and assertive Negro population was a barrier to a general acceptance of the government's emancipation policy. So, you know what I mean? Even though most people considered the slavery that we were in as immoral, you know what I mean, and economical immoral, you know what I mean, it was just a terrible act. You understand? Freeing us out of slavery was terrifying for them. You know what I mean? So even though their conscience as to, oh, all right, I would even say conscience, it was the matter of them just feeling that, you know what I mean, slavery made them look evil and sinister, which it is. It does make them look evil and sinister. You understand? What they did to our foreparents was very cruel. You understand? But even more scary than that, than feeling the guilt, or not guilt, but to feel ashamed for what they did because it made them look evil, was the idea of us going free. You understand? Let me continue reading. Slakia. Let me find back when I did there. Slakia. Right. Sturtevant assured those who could not decide which they dislike more, slavery or the Negroes, that emancipation would be a safe and easy way to dispose of both. All right, so people were you know what I mean, now becoming, you know what I mean, seeing that the world is looking at them like some kind of villains, right? Stay with me, you know. Like some villains for having us in slavery. So they were, you know what I mean, them feel like villains. But more than that, freeing us, emancipation, was their greatest fear. But this Christian pastor, Stuart Evans, he assured them that, guess what? You see, the fact say you don't want to keep them in slave, you don't want to free them. You see me? You don't want to free them, right? But you can't stand the fact of them being around you. So you don't want to free them, but you don't want to deal with them on a daily, day-to-day or equal basis anymore in the future. Freeing them will get you to both get rid of slavery, you understand, and get rid of the Negro at the same time. He's basically saying, right? He's saying that, all right, don't worry about freeing them. They will basically go extinct. That is what he's trying to say. So this Christian pastor is reassuring them that there is nothing wrong by freeing them, freeing the slaves, right? They will eventually go extinct. Let me continue reading, right? Salakia. He concluded with a high degree of assurance that the result of emancipation must be not the amalgamation of the races, not an internecine war between them, but the inevitable extinction of the weaker race by the competition of the stronger. You understand? So he must say a war won't do it. Combining both races won't do it. But the weaker race would eventually die off. And in their minds, we were the weaker race. Let me continue reading. Zin. Salakia. After citing statistics to show that the American Negro population had never increased except in slavery, he went on to demonstrate why this was so and why emancipated blacks could be expected to die out. So he's basically saying the only reason why they have become so much in number is because we have them in slavery feeding them. But you see, the emancipated ones, the ones that are freed, they will eventually die out. That is what Stuart Evans is saying, this Christian pastor. You understand? So he's saying, don't worry about emancipating the slaves. Emancipating them would mean we are not feeding them anymore. So they will eventually die out. That is what Stuart Evans is saying. You understand? Which, you know what I mean? Which makes you know that it was not their, you know what I mean, their sincere and kindness, or their sincerity or kindness that made them free our people from slavery. It was them trying to get a burden off their hands. And eventually they expected us to die out. You understand? Because in their minds, we were too primitive to survive on our own. And I go tell you, let me continue reading. Right? There was always, he pointed out, a lower stratum of the population that did not earn enough to support a family. That sound familiar? That is going on today. We still don't earn enough to support a family. Not because, you know what I mean, we are unable to. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why shortly. You understand? But he's saying, all right, they're going to die out because they won't be able to sustain themselves. Why? Because we wouldn't be able to make a living in the oppressor's system. The oppressor would not allow it. So even though we are free, We are not free to make it in his system. You understand? So we would eventually die out. Let me continue reading. This situation was irremediable because it reflected the operation of a necessary and beneficent law, which ordained that only the strongest, most vigorous, and noble specimens of the race would propagate, and conversely, that the weak, the vicious, the degrading, the broken down classes would be weeded out. You understand? After emancipation, the Negro would enter into direct competition with the whites. And because of the superiority of the latter, meaning the whites, right, would be pushed into that lower stratum. Right? So he said, after emancipation, because we no longer would be under the bondage of slavery, we are now going to have to compete with white people who run the system. And because of that, we will be pushed into the lowest stratum of society, meaning we would be impoverished. You understand? We would be desolate. We wouldn't be able to survive. That is what this devil is saying. You understand? Let me continue reading. The consequence is inevitable. He will either never marry, right? Never marry, meaning can't marry because he can't afford to. You understand? Or he will, in the attempt to support a family, struggle in vain against the laws of nature. And his children, many of them at last, die in infancy, right? So we would be so poor that we wouldn't even think about getting a family or getting a wife. And if we did get a wife, this is what this devil is saying, that we wouldn't be able to take care of a family and our young children would die in infancy. This is a Christian pastor talking, you know. I will tell you that Christianity is white supremacy. You know, disbelieve. You understand? You disbelieve, but you know what I mean? Thank the Most High for the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding General YAHANNA, because if it wasn't for Commanding General YAHANNA and the I.S.U.P.K, information like this would have never come out. You understand? So they expected us after emancipation, see, to go extinct as a people, to just die out. You understand? Why? Because now we were being freed from slavery. You understand? We weren't being fed by the oppressor anymore. They thought that we couldn't survive on our own, which turns out to be a lie. You understand? Let me continue reading this though. See? Like his brother, Slakia, watch out now. And when we in the I.S.U.P.K said the native Indians are our brother, even the oppressor knew this. Let me show you what I go on. Like his brother, the Indian of the forest, he must melt away and disappear forever from the midst of us. And the white man is such a devil that the Bible speaks of. After he annihilated and downright genocided our brothers, the native Indians, see, he's now saying that, you know what I mean, he must disappear from among us. So the Negroes will have to disappear from among us. You understand? And he's saying that it is a natural act of nature. And this is the mindset of the oppressor, right? And where you need to understand. The oppressor killing you every day, consider it a natural act of nature. In just consider you being the weaker race, inevitably have to die for the stronger race, which is him call himself the stronger race, to live. So you have to die so that he can survive. It's just nature. And him said, just like our brothers, the Indians of the forest, talking about the native Indians, so we must disappear forever. And this is a Christian pastor, and this is a man who has whole heap of influence over the minds of oppressors. These were the conversations that were being had and how they were going to deal with us as a people. This is the discussions that were being, discussed amongst the oppressor as to what would become of us, because we have done the work already. We came, serve, we were dragged over here to serve slavery. You understand? We build them the greatest kingdom on the face of the earth that was to ever exist. No, them have a problem. Them have a problem now. They have become so great, but yet still them have to still look at you who they have abused and taken advantage of. It offends them. So now a discussion have to be had. What are they going to do with us? And one of the prevailing discussions were, that we will die on our own. All we have to do, emancipate them. Don't be afraid to emancipate them. We don't need their slavery anymore. All right, remember, the war between the North and the South was, the North wanted the jobs, but the South was using slave labor. So the North said that's unfair. We want to feed our family. We want to work. These are the poor whites. No. The poor whites in the North want to work and earn and live and not them bread. But the South have black people that work for free and do the same job, and them say, no, that can't go so. You understand? That can't go so. We need to work and feed our family. So they must say, all right, here we go on. Yeah, we have the wealth, we have the resource, we can employ our own people. But what we are going to do with the Negroes? We have the best kingdom on the face of the earth. We are so wealthy because the Negroes work so hard to make us rich. But now we have this big population of Negroes that we are no longer desired, or we have no desire to have. So guess what them want to do now? Guess what? If we emancipate them are going to just dead off. That is what this Christian pastor is saying. And I tell our people, say, yo, the reason why them free you from slavery is not because of the goodness of them heart. It's because the work was done. We already built them the greatest kingdom on the face of the earth. Now, them expect you to just go extinct. Them don't want to feed you no more. Them don't want to look upon you no more with no shame for no say, boy, they did all this treachery to us. Now, it's time for us to separate from them and now be in competition where they considered us the weaker race, where inevitably we would just die out because they would win. Yo, it's treacherous, man. May I tell you? All right, let me continue reading. Let me read that part again. You know what I mean? Like his brother, the Indian of the forest, talking about our native Indian brothers. Saying he must melt away and disappear forever from the midst of us. They are saying that, you know what I mean? Like the native Indians who they basically genocide and kill off, so we must disappear forever and just be gone. You understand? That is the mind of the oppressor. And this book is the black image in the white mind. And this is, thank the Most High for commanding General YAHANNA and the I.S.U.P.K. Because, you know what I mean, we get introduced to this information to let you know, you know what I mean, that guess what go on? The oppressor don't even consider you a human being. He don't even consider you a human being, brother. Give you the mindset, the inside of the mind of the oppressor. All right, let me continue reading. Stuart Evans, you know what I mean? That is the name of this Christian pastor. See? Racial Malthusianism anticipated the Darwinian notion of a struggle for existence between the races, as well as the social Darwinist justification of a laissez-faire economy as the arena for a biological competition, resulting in the survival of the fittest, which we know about this term, the survival of the fittest, right? We know about the survival of the fittest. This is a Darwinian saying, which is a racist saying. It stems from us being eventually extinct because we are weak and white people are strong. That is what that saying is basically saying, the survival of the fittest. So after they, you know what I mean, disadvantaged us by bringing us over here in slavery. Then they're saying we are not the fittest. After they had us in captivity, you know what I mean, for so long, bridging. Now they are saying they are the fittest and we can't survive because they are the fittest, so we must die out. Yo, this kingdom was built and you not even a human being. This kingdom was built by they considering you not even human, brother. May I tell you, say, yo, it's like them consider us some kind of bird. Some birds. The reason why I not say dogs is because I know people, them consider us like a breed of bird that would eventually go extinct. You understand? That is what they consider us. Let me continue reading this though. See? In terms of the racial aspiration of many mid-century American whites, his prediction was an explicit and extreme expression of the ideal of racial homogeneity that was brought to the surface by sectional conflict. For anti-slavery racists like Weston Bushnell and Sturtevant, this desire for homogeneity led logically to a defense of emancipation as a step towards genocide by natural causes. All right, so emancipation, being emancipating us from slavery, was their attempt for us to be genocided by natural causes. Not like how them genocide the North American Indian by shooting them and killing them and starving them, killing their food source. Not like that. But freeing us from slavery, which is the reason why they consider us being multiplied. They must say we are free. Now them have to survive on them own in our system. They will die out. That is what them call natural genocide. Natural genocide because they know that they wouldn't give us a job. They wouldn't give us employment. You understand? They wouldn't give us the means to provide for our families, our children, our wives. That is what they call natural genocide or genocide by natural causes. You understand? So we know that did not happen, meaning we didn't just die out. Right? Remember, we build your kingdom, So we are the ones with the talent. We are the ones with the skill. You understand? We are the ones that know how to build, to work with metal, bricks, and all them things there. So we began to build. We began, to build our own economy. Hence, you have Black Wall Street, right? All right, we're going to jump to a video about Black Wall Street right now. Remember to subscribe to this channel. Leave your comments. You understand? Communicate with us. You understand? Interact with us. You know what I mean? You know the thing already. All right. So, the natural causes that we were supposed to die off by did not happen. Instead, we had a thing called Black Wall Streets and many other, you know what I mean, cities and communities that we were pressing. So this genocide by natural causes was not happening. Instead, we were prospering, and the oppressor did not like that. You understand? Let me play this.
Has grown to nearly 2,000.
Even though these adult black people An entire community was destroyed. Their wealth was taken from them.
It looked as if it was Hiroshima. Atomic bomb had gone off. What few trees.
All right, this was the video I was looking for. You know what I mean? The wrong one was playing a while ago. All right, this video basically show you, you know what I mean, what they did. You understand? We're not going to play much of it, like about 3 minutes, but we just have to play it for to get an idea. You understand?
Had no leaves, they were just chars.
Suppressed.
District known as Black Wall Street.
These are people who own their own homes, they have their own businesses. It was a vibrant community.
What happened in 1921 on May 31st through June 1st? Was 18.
We don't know who fires the first one, but that begins a bloodbath. African Americans are attacked in their homes. They are machine gunned down in the streets. They woke up to the sound of bullets hitting their homes.
Smoke and flames are everywhere.
They set fire to the curtains so the houses will burn. Airplanes, the morning of June 1st, flying over the city and dropping turpentine bombs.
You are seeing them.
All right, and that is the only time America has ever bombed or drop a bomb on home soil. And them drop it on black people. Like in that the genocide by natural Wall Street and media and many other cities, you know what I mean, with the same quality. You understand? And that was the side. The American government, that was the first time they ever bombed, you know what I mean, an American style, and they bombed black people. You understand? So, like me are reading at the book a while ago, them and say, yo, eventually we are going to die out. You understand yourself, man? So, you want to get rid of slavery, you want to get rid of the Negroes, just free them, man. Them are going to die out. But you see, when them free us from slavery and we were prospering, and in many cases prospering above them because they were in the Great Depression at this time and we weren't. You understand? And this was before integration. You understand? When the oppressor saw that, no, guess what go on? Bad mind coming in my heart, brethren. Him not like to see that. The people who enslaved, who built great kingdom that he have, deal wisely with them. That is why you see go on right here, so. Because they thought we would just die out and the opposite happen. No, they have to intervene. You understand? And that is why you see us as a people. And it was, let me show you something. If it wasn't for the Most High, we would have died out. But not by natural causes, but because of the intervention of the oppressor. Because this oppressor has always from you know what I mean, from the time of lynching, you know what I mean, from emancipation, this oppressor has had his foot on our necks. He has his foot on the necks of the American Negroes, our brother, the Judites. He have him foot on the necks of the Jamaicans through the systematic oppression that we face down here. You understand? If it wasn't for the Most High, we would have gone extinct, but not by natural causes. You understand? But if it wasn't for the oppressor, we would have been in a better case than we are in right now. We wouldn't be suffering right now as a people. You understand? We would be excelling like how Black Wall Street that excel. The oppressor would be poor and we would be rich. You understand? But, all right, the book that I was reading was, you know what I mean, The Black Image in the White Mind. It basically tells you how the oppressor thinks about us. We are like birds, little birds. You're not even human, virgin. You know what I mean? May I tell you, man, reading this book, it tells you what white people think about us, and you know what I mean? Degrading is an understatement. That is degrading. It's worse than degrading. That's why when we tell our people, say, yo, you can't, you know what I mean? The oppressor don't love you. Don't waste your love on the oppressor. Love your own people. You understand? That's why we implore our brothers down here who are killing each other. Stop killing each other. Why are you killing your brother? You know what I mean? Love your brother and your sisters. You know what I mean? Now is the time for us to live brotherly and sisterly with each other. Value each other. Because there's somebody that don't love you. As a matter of fact, that person don't love you. And you might find it hard to believe because, you know what I mean, you have listened so much of the lies that the oppressors, you know what I mean, told us. You can't believe it, but you're not even you. You're less than human to the oppressor. You are, you know what I mean? You're inferior race. The foundation of this society is built upon the fact that they consider you. You understand? So now is the time that, you know what I mean, you need to show the oppressor that you are not inferior. You know what I mean? Now is the time for you to show the oppressor that you can prosper as a people by coming back to your law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High give you, your covenant that you have with the Most High. And become that royal line again. Because, in fact, you were not inferior. You know what I mean? This inferiority thing just shows you the mind of the oppressor. You were never inferior, and today you show them every day how superior you are. Every day you show them how superior you are. The things that you create. You basically, all right, our people create everything that the oppressor use and profit off, you know. From slavery, even the cotton that we pick to the light bulb in the ceiling, to the internet that we are now on, was created by our people, rude boy. You understand? But we believe the oppressor when him say we are inferior. You know what I mean? It's the reason why many of us bleach out with skin to look like the oppressor. Our women, them cream out them ear because them say, yo, for them ear is the ugly ear. You understand? To look like the oppressor. Our people, them wear the jacket and tie, go to the oppressor's work, join the Christian church because that is what the oppressor wants. Because this oppressor is superior, and now we have to be civilized by going to the Christian church to become like the oppressor. When in fact we were always is cruelty. That's all he had. Cruelty. He had the cruelty to rape, you know what I mean, and genocide our people with no remorse. That's what he had, you know. That's the upper hand that he had, you know. The upper hand that he had was how he perceived us as being less than human. We would have never considered him less than human, naturally. No, we consider him less than human. You know what I mean? Because his character shows that he's a beast. You understand? But we wouldn't naturally just look at somebody and say, boy, you know what I mean? This person is less than human. Let us treat them like an animal. Let us treat them like an ox. You know what I mean? And put them to work in the field. You know what I mean? And abuse them and torture them. But that was, you know what I mean, what he had in mind. And that is the reason why we up on the bottom, because guess what, we never expect that to happen to we. But that was his plan. And now he's considering us, you know what I mean, the inferior race, because we are at the end, the other end of his treachery and destruction. Now he must say, look at them, they are inferior. Look how childlike they are. Our childlike and stupidity that our people had in slavery, came from us being traumatized in a rude boy and not educated and being cut off. You know what I mean? From culture, which me bring up that because that is what this book said. It's unbelievable. I mean, I talk to you now as a man who has learned this. And I thank the Most High for the I.S.U.P.K and a command in general, YAHANNA. So as I talk to you, with the enthusiasm of somebody who's just learning how wicked the oppressor is. And wish all of us, our people, would know this as well. You understand? That is what you're seeing me do right now. You understand? And as I read this book, rude boy, trust me, this oppressor, it needs to be in a cage. This thing called the Caucasian race, the white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, needs to be in a cage. You know what I mean? A cage away from the lions and the tigers and the wolverines and the bears. He needs to be far away from them. Even the crocodile, he needs to be put separate and apart from them, because even them would be in danger of him. He's the worst beast on the face of this earth, brethren. May I tell you? No remorse, heartless, brethren. And this religion that our people serve in called Christianity, rude boy. You don't know you don't know the foundation of it. When me just read a while ago, is a Christian pastor said this in a rude boy. And our people gone in a Christianity, gone teach Christianity. Your Christianity where you teach, that is invented. You are put your spin pan Christianity, that invented something different, something that ensured his sustenance and your depreciation. Where you are trying to make with Christianity does not exist in the original blueprint of Christianity. For them, Christianity ensure that them superior to you. That is their Christianity. What the hell are you teaching in your Christianity? That all man created equal? When it was the Christians who were lynching black people? When the Ku Klux Klan are Christians? You don't need to come out of that brainwash place they call the Christian church, brother. No, right now, if you don't know what good for, you know what I mean, for yourself. The fact that you're still in the Christian church mean you are willful slaves, brother. The people who enslave you, give your Christianity and you're preaching Christianity to your people. That is the reason why we destroyed. That is the reason why we destroyed, brethren. You see me? All right, I'm now going to further another book here. Done with this right now. See? When we book up on another part of this book where it's very mind-blowing, I'm going to bring it out in another class. You see me? Or another video. All right, so what we are going to know? All right, we're going to jump to the Passover. You know what I mean? And how crucial the Passover is. You know what I mean? The Passover is not just a little event that you just, you know what I mean? You just decide, say, boy, if you want to skip the Passover, you skip it. You know what I mean? No such thing. The Passover is mandatory by the Most High. And, you know what I mean? The consequences for not keeping the Passover would mean that you were cut off from being, you know what I mean, of the nation of Israel. You would be considered like an Eden. You understand? Because the Most High consider this holy day, you know what I mean, a very, very important day. This is to commemorate, you know what I mean, our people being freed out of slavery, out of Egypt. You understand? So to just miss the Passover is to miss the point. You understand? To just scull the Passover is to scull the point, rude boy. You know what I mean? You don't miss the Passover. You understand? All right. So we're going to jump in at some scripture. We're going to jump to the book of Exodus, chapter 12. See? All right. I'm going to read through this entire chapter this time. You know what I mean? So that our people can get the understanding of what the Passover really represents. The Passover represents the Most High freeing our people out of captivity, you know what I mean, and creating a nation. You understand? So basically the Passover is, you know what I mean, the Passover is the story of our nation's existence. The story behind how we became a nation. You understand? And the Most High commanded us that we should keep this forever. You know what I mean? So the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding general, YAHANNA, we just, you know what I mean, held our 53rd annual Lord's Passover Friday night gone. You understand? Now we are in the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Let me break that down. All right, so the Passover, you know what I mean, was on Friday. After that, the Saturday now, we had the Feast of Unleavened Bread where, you know what I mean, we have to eat unleavened bread for the next 7 days after that. See? So you have the Passover Friday, day one, you understand? And you eat unleavened bread going forward till, you know what I mean? And it will close off on Sunday coming. This Sunday that is coming is a close off. Now, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, you have to get all leaven out of your house. Like what the Bible says. You know what I mean? So, baking powder, baking soda, you know what I mean? All of the things them where, you know what I mean? All of the foods that are leavened like your regular bread where you buy a shop, you must only eat unleavened bread. What is unleavened bread? Unleavened bread is basically, you know what I mean, bread without leaven in it. So from it, at its primitive state, unleavened bread is just flour and water. No, you can't add other things to it, but what you can't add to it is leaven. You can't add baking soda or baking powder. You can't add yeast or any kind of leavening agent to make it soft and to make it swell. See, you have to eat, you know what I mean, regular unleavened bread. So when I say, what is unleavened bread? Fritters, fried dumpling, boiled dumpling. You understand? We have been, we live for unleavened bread here in Jamaica. You understand? We grew up on unleavened bread. You understand? But during the Feast of Unleavened Bread is the time where we only eat unleavened bread. You understand? So I'll jump to the book of Exodus 12 and verse 1. You know what I mean? To make our people understand what is the Passover. This is the, you know what I mean? The Passover is the highest holy day in our nation. The highest. There is no other holy day greater than the Passover. You understand? And why? Is because the Passover commemorates when the Most High took us out of slavery. Just imagine if we were in, you know what I mean, slavery, you know what I mean, that we watch Panty. You watch slavery, you watch a slavery show them. Just imagine the Most High start plaguing the white man. You understand? And freed us from that slavery and build us a nation. That would be, you know what I mean, we'd be so grateful. However, we are still in slavery today, and the Most High is going to do the same thing. The reason why I use that scenario a while ago, because enough people don't consider us still being in slavery. We are still in slavery. And the same thing is going to happen now. But until then, until when this happens, when the Most High free us out of this captivity, we should always commemorate. You know what I mean? And also keep the Passover every year. You know what I mean? To commemorate when the Most High took us out of Egypt. You understand? All right, so this is the book of Exodus chapter 12 and verse 1. And it says, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, verse 2, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. This was, you know what I mean, the month, this month, all right, so the month spoken of here was in springtime. Like, no, this month, we in our May now, April. We in April now, see? Now would be considered the beginning of the year. not in the middle of winter. You understand? Winter, in the middle of winter, like, January 1st, that is the middle of winter. That is not New Year's. That is not the real New Year's. You understand? So the Most High is saying that, we must consider this month, which is the beginning of spring, which every year starts, during the spring. The spring is when, everything renews itself. You understand? Everything renews itself during the springtime. You get me? So this is the first year. Let me continue reading. Verse 3. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers. A lamb for an house. Right. Let me continue reading. Verse 4. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto him, unto his house, take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Right. So the Most High said, take a lamb. We're gonna cook this lamb or sacrifice the lamb. You know what I mean? We're gonna roast this lamb. See? Have a barbecue with this lamb. Every man according to them household. You understand? And if the lamb be too much for you and your household, if you alone or if it's you and another person and the lamb is too much, then share it with the neighbor. You understand? Let me continue reading. Verse 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish, meaning you're going to take the best lamb. One that don't have any kind of scar, no spots. You know what I mean? A clean lamb, the best one. You understand? Let me continue reading. A male of the first year, so it have to be a male lamb. Continue reading. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goat. So you're going to take this lamb out from either the sheep or from the goat. You understand? So it can be sheep or goat. Sheep lamb or goat lamb. Right? The best one. Continue reading. Verse 6. And he shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. You know what I mean? So you're going to kill this lamb in the evening. Right? Let me continue reading. Verse 7. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorposts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. Right. So Moses was instructed that after them kill the lamb, put it on every side post and every, you know what I mean? I think them call it the lintel. Then paint the blood upon the lintel and the side post. You understand? And it I going to tell you why. Let me continue reading. See? So, let me read that again. And they shall take off the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door posts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. So, any house where this lamb is going to be eaten, the blood must step on the side posts, on the door post them. See? Verse 8, and they shall eat the flesh in the night, roast with fire. You know what I mean? So we are going to eat the lamb, roast with fire, barbecued. Jerk. You know, we jerk chicken here in Jamaica. You know what I mean? But this would be like, you know what I mean? We jerking the lamb. Or barbecue, them call it in America, our brothers. You know what I mean? The Judites. So, you know what I mean? Barbecue and jerking always been a part of our custom. The Bible call it roast. You understand? Let me continue reading. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread. Here we go with the unleavened bread. Now, what is unleavened bread? Basically flour and water. Oh, you can prepare it. You can bake it in an oven. You understand? You can fry it. You understand? So, you know what I mean? We know about that too. That is our custom as well. We eat fritters and fried dumpling down here. So, in Jamaica. We know a lot about unleavened bread. We grew up on unleavened bread. You understand? So don't mistake it, man. The people them that is in this book is us. Don't twist it. It's our people in this book. Let me continue reading. Right? Verse 9. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, his head and his legs, and with the pertinence thereof. Verse 10. And he shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remain of it until the morning he shall burn with fire. Verse 11. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, and your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. Right, so why the reason why we have to be girded? Because now the Most High was going to free us out of this captivity. You understand? So put on your clothes, put on your war belt, you know what I mean, your staff in your hand, because you might have to go to war with some Egyptians who decide, say, oh, we know I'm going to cut. You understand? But now the Most High got free, you know, so gird on yourself, pack on the things, eat this lamb, we're not going to need it for the journey, we're not going to need the energy. You understand? Prepare this lamb with unleavened bread. We don't have time for putting a leaven in this bread. See, we have to do this quick. We are taking out of this place. You understand? That is what the Most High do. You understand? And we celebrate the Passover in remembrance of this. Let me continue reading. And this is no fairy tale. This is what happened to us. You understand? Let me continue reading. Verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt. Right. So this is, you know what I mean? So the Most High say, this is the Lord's Passover. Why is the Most High's Passover? He will pass through the land of Egypt. That is where the word come from, Passover. Let me continue reading. And will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. You understand? So the Most High is going to pass through the land of Egypt and kill all the firstborn of the Egyptian. This, the God that we serve, is not that God that is in the Christian church. Our God do a lot of killing and he don't play. You understand? Him don't play. And he killed our enemies to free us. You understand? That is why we keep the Passover in remembrance, because we are grateful to our power, Yahweh in the Hebrew, who went to war with our enemies on our behalf. We couldn't go to war with them on our own. Same like how we can't go to war with the oppressor today, the white man, because he owned all the guns. He create the guns. Him have nuclear weapon. Oh, we have to free ourselves out of this captivity. We need the Most High. It's the Most High alone can do it. Same like, oh, it is the Most High alone could have done it when we were in Egypt. Let me continue reading. See in verse 13, and the blood shall be to you for a token upon the house where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you. That is why it's called Passover. Because when we put the blood upon the lintel and the doorpost, the Most High will see it, or the angel of the Most High, the death angel of the Most High sent. You understand? The angel that did the killing. See? When he see the blood, him say, all right. Him say to him other angels, don't go in that house. Israelites who serve the Most High live in that house. When him see doors without blood, him say, Egyptian, go in there and kill one of them. That is why it's called Passover, because when he saw the blood, he passed over us. You understand? So even the term make you know say you know to play with the Passover. Don't ramp with it. Because the word Passover simply just means, yo, mercy is the Most I say, yo, here we go on. I show them some mercy. You understand? I am doing some killing and me not go kill them. So you don't play with the Passover, brother. Let me continue reading. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the house wherein ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. Right. So, you know what I mean? Just consider a plague like the coronavirus, but even more deadlier. That was what, you know what I mean, the Most High unleashed upon the Egyptians. You understand? That's why I implore our people, come back to your customs so the Most High can plague these Egyptians today. You understand? So the Most High can plague the oppressor. You understand? Separate from the oppressor. Come out in Christianity. Stop celebrating his Easter. Stop eat Easter bun and cheese on Easter time. Stop eat it because that is you celebrating another God. You understand? Stop celebrating Christmas. That is you worshiping another God. That is what the oppressor gave to you. Why are you celebrating the holidays that the oppressor, the man who slave you, the man who enslave you say, all right, celebrate this. And you celebrate it, you should at least, you know what I mean, protest. At least protest the person who genocide your people. And say, you know what, me nah celebrate it, you know. Hey, guess what go on? You see, if our people don't celebrate the oppressor holiday, the oppressor will go broke. The oppressor will go broke. You understand? If our people decide, say, you know what, me nah celebrate Valentine's Day, Christmas, Easter, you know what I mean, Thanksgiving, Halloween, all the other holidays, them, the oppressor will go broke. You understand? Let me continue reading. See? Verse 14, and this day shall be unto you for a memorial. Listen, a memorial. Let me read that again. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. Not keep it this year and forget it next year. Keep it throughout your generations. Let me continue reading. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. It is no joke thing. You understand? And who was this talking to? It was talking to your foreparents. You are the generation now that should still be keeping it. That should still, you know what I mean, remember when the Most High free your people from those Africans. Keep that memorial forever. Pass on the tradition to your children. You not keep it now. We understand why you not keep it, because slavery cut we off from you know what I mean, with culture. Slavery did that. You understand? We not bash with people. We have to come back. Come back to your last statutes and commandment. Come back to the things them that the Most High commanded you to keep. So that the Most High can plague this, you know what I mean, this place and free us. Yet, all right. Watch this. Don't you want, all right, I guess enough of our people don't see, you know what I mean, don't think that we are in slavery, right? But wouldn't you want to live in a world where you are not subjected to the oppressor? Is life that good under the oppressor? Look around in the garrison where you live in your communities. Is life that good under this oppressor? That you wouldn't want the Most High to destroy this wicked kingdom that we live in, that is oppressing us? You understand? Is life that good? Life is not that good. You understand? Life is not that good. So you should want the Most High destroy this wicked kingdom so that you can, you know what I mean, have your own nation again and we can govern our affairs. So that our people now for be, you know what I mean, living in poverty as a people. We say as a people because the majority of us, 98% of us, you know what I mean, are poor. You understand? And suffering and being oppressed and not even given the opportunity for you know what I mean, to be, you know what I mean, to do better as a nation. As a matter of fact, being held down. You understand? That's why you need to come back to them things so the Most High can take the oppressor foot off our neck. When that happen, you know what I mean, no care how happy you is in this wicked kingdom, brethren. You don't know happiness yet. Your enjoyment that you are experiencing now, you know what I mean, is in oppression. You don't know enjoyment yet. And you experience freedom and enjoyment together yet. You have never experienced freedom. The little, you know what I mean, life, you know what I mean, you can't call it a life that we live in this place, you know what I mean, that we seem to be content with. You know what I mean? It's not joy, it's not happiness that you have been suffering that in captivity. You understand? Let me continue reading. So him say, ye shall keep it as a feast by an ordinance forever. Forever. You know what I mean? No year off. Forever. You understand? Let me continue reading. Verse 15. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your house. Right. So you put away all the leaven out of your house. Why? Because you remember the time when the Most High, you know what I mean, had us, you know what I mean, eat unleavened bread. It's a memorial. You understand? Work with it. Work with it. Every year, you put gift under one Christmas tree for the oppressor. You understand? For remember what? You know, the oppressor just say it, so you do it. Well, this have to do with your people when the Most High free your people out of oppression. Work with it. And put away the ones, the customs that have no significance to your people. Like Christmas and Easter. What Christmas and Easter have to do with we? What Christmas and Easter have to do with the children of Israel here in Jamaica? I saw you love Easter bun. I saw you love bun and cheese. When we used to go to school, you know, we used to eat bun and cheese. You know what I mean? Every day. You know what I mean? Anytime. Let me not say every day. Anytime. But when it comes around to Easter, it's like, you know what I mean? The oppressor command you now to eat bun and cheese. So you just stack up and be bun and cheese. The bun company them, where is not even owned by our people. The cheese company them, where that is not owned by our people. Them time, you know, them having upon them watch, them clock. They say, yo, this time them people are come patronize my bun factory and my cheese factory, and me are gonna get richer off of them. And this holiday has nothing to do with them, nor the people who is benefit from this holiday have nothing to do with you. The people who benefit off of your patronizing the oppressors' holidays is not your people. Are people who are hold you down. The Chinese, the oppressor, people who don't like you, people who hate you, people who talk bad things about you behind your back, but take your money anyway. Who are you helping by celebrating the oppressors' holidays? Who are you helping? You're helping to keep your people down in oppression because you're keeping these holidays are sinning against the Most High. You understand? You keeping these holidays is you sinning against the Most High. So guess what? Your captivity are going to lengthen. You understand? That's why I thank the Most High for the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding general, YAHANNA, because guess what go on now? Now we know how to get the oppressors' foot off our neck by following the laws and the statutes and commandments that the Most High gave to us in this Bible, which is not a fairy tale book, nor does it belong to the oppressor, the white man. See, it is our constitution as the children of Israel. It is the Hebrew records. You understand? It is about us, our rise, our fall, and our how we are going to rise again. And our relationship with our power, who gave us a covenant to keep and said that we would be the greatest nation upon the face of the earth if we kept this covenant. But it seemed like our people don't want we don't want to be the greatest people upon the face of the earth. Well, all right. By default, we are the greatest people upon the face of the earth. Look at what we create. Look at what we produce in our oppression. You understand? By default, we are the greatest. But guess what? We are at the bottom of society. You understand? Because we break the covenant with our power, which is the Most High, Yahweh. So you break the covenant to the Most High, the heathen, them are going to rule at top of us. You understand? Them are going to rule the earth and you are going to be, you know what I mean? You're going to be the peasants. You're going to be the undesirable people. You know what I mean? And it's a contradiction because guess what go on? We are the most beautiful people on the face of the earth. Culture, everything. But we are the undesirable. And when you look on the Edens, them look and behave undesirable. And them are rule over we. Them stupid and them silly. They're a silly set of people. Dumb people are rule over with the Chinese. Them look like when somebody born handicap. Dumb people, them so stupid. The oppressors, dumb, calling himself, saying that, you know what I mean, him born a man, but him is now a woman. Let me show you how stupid the oppressor is. The oppressor is so stupid that the slowest man, the slowest swimmer, see? The slowest man or the slowest swimmer in the man category can just say, all right, him identify as a woman now and go be the best woman swimmer. You understand? That is how stupid the oppressor is. That no make no sense. And then the same oppressor will tell you that they stand for women's rights. Where's the woman's rights there? The woman don't have a right to compete amongst women. A man can just come now and say, yo, he's a woman. You know what I mean? He was the worst swimmer and the man's, you know what I mean, in the man's category. But now he's the best woman swimmer. Number one by far. That is how stupid these heathens are and filthy and disgusting. But yet still them rule. Pantapa we? How that? That is because we don't want to come out of the Christian church. That is because we don't want to stop celebrate Easter. That is because we don't want to come out of the Rastafari religion and don't want to put on the weed. Oh, you're going to rule the earth and you smoke weed. As a people, oh, you're going to rule the earth and you hook on weed. That don't make no sense. We as a nation, we are drug addicts because of this Rastafari religion and the culture. Zane, oh, we are going to come out of captivity if we don't put on the weed. Even if you did have to go to war with other people to gain freedom, you can't war with weed, brother. Weed, what? You're in your right mind that I want. Your lungs now function properly. Oh, you go emancipate yourself, smoke and weed. So you see that this Rastafari religion, it not help you. You see that Christianity not help you, because Christianity is telling you that there is no problem. There's nothing to, you are the problem. There's no oppressor oppressing you. So Christianity blind your eye as to who is your oppressor. And Rastafari ensure that you have no strength nor the wit to fight your oppressor. You understand? You need to come out of them things, man. All right, let me continue reading. Verse 15, 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your house. So you put away every leavening agent or any food that have leaven in it out of your house. You can put it in your garage, put it in a cube, put it out of the house. Or if you own a one room, your section of the house, get it out of that. Any place where you control. So if you control the whole house, get it out of the house. If you control a one room, get it out of your room. If you control only a little part, a segment of a room with a little box or a suitcase, you get it out of. If you can't control your surroundings. You get what I say? Yeah. Let me continue reading. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day unto the seventh day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. And that is how serious the Most High take it. So, you know what I mean? You can't just skip the Passover, rude boy. You're skipping the Passover is you saying you don't want to be a part of Israel. You don't want to be a part of the nation. That is what you're saying. You understand? That is what you're saying. Let me continue reading. Verse 16. And in the first day, there shall be a holy convocation. So we have the holy convocation, which is a gathering, and the Passover day, which is, you know what I mean, which is on the Friday, and then on the Saturday now, which is the first day of unleavened bread. See? And the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, we have another holy convocation. You understand? Let me continue reading. And in the seventh day, there shall be an holy convocation to you. So the seventh day now, after the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, you know what I mean, shall be another holy convocation which will bring you to Sunday now, the next Sunday. You understand? So we come together, you know what I mean? We eat unleavened bread, we enjoy ourselves, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hey, tell you what. Instead of you celebrate Christmas, celebrate the Passover. So you see same enjoyment where you enjoy yourself on Christmas, enjoy yourself. That, well, not with the sinful activities them go on in a Christmas. I not talk the harges and the madness them. But you enjoy yourself with your brothers and your sisters. When you drink and when you enjoy on yourself. On the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And stop celebrate Christmas. Why you have to celebrate the oppressor's holiday? The oppressor tell you when to enjoy yourself. You get to me I say? Enjoy the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. This is ours. This belongs to us. This was given to us by the Most High, by the Creator, and He did not give it to anybody else. Nobody else to have it. You understand? Let me continue reading. Zin, no manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. So it's a day off, or some day off. Just call it, the oppressor call it holiday. But we call it holy day. Of course, we know that the oppressor plagiarize everything that we do. Zin, we call it holy day, so them call it holiday. Same way the oppressor give a break during Easter time. Because I say I celebrate Easter. The Most High give a break during Passover and unleavened bread time. Though you don't forget work. You know what I mean? Let me read that again. It says, no manner of work shall be done. What kind of manner of work? Servile work. Like you don't have to go to work. Of course, in this captivity, your oppressor or your boss might say, no man, you now get the day off, you have to forward. You know what I mean? If so be the case, then make the Most High punish whosoever that employer is, whether oppressor or Israel, whoever he is, for not getting you off for that day, for celebrate the Most High Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. But, you know what I mean? The Most High gave you that day off. You understand? The oppressor give you Christmas off. off and give a couple days off, plagiarizing the Most High. You understand? But we have our own holidays, or so not holidays, but holy days. That has nothing to do with what the oppressor do. We don't need to celebrate that. We need to separate from whatever holy or holiday the oppressor have. Separate from that and do what the Most High say we for do. And you see with that now, guess what I go on. You will see the Most High make a difference amongst our people. Because this Bible is no fairy tale in a rude boy. A real story them, I know. You know what the problem? Christianity. Because you don't see nothing that you see in the Bible, in the Christian church, you just say, Chuck, I mean, I don't believe the Bible. All you see is singing and clapping in the Christian church, and then the pastor claims, say, oh, he's speaking the word of God. No, he's not. He's just reading the parts that can get your money out of your pocket. Here we are talking about the Passover. Why your pastor never mentioned the Passover? Yeah? Isn't the Passover in the Bible? Who was the Passover given to? Pastor, pork chop. Who was the Passover given to? Well, the Passover was given to the children of Israel. That has nothing to do with us. But wait, aren't we the children of Israel? Hold on. Didn't the Bible say the children of Israel will go into slavery by the means of slave ship? Well, and you're going to see your pastor start buck and shuffle. You understand? You're going to see your pastor start buck and shuffle. When you start break down the Bible or the I.S.U.P.K, teach it. Your pastor go dumb. You understand? He's no teaching the Bible. The only prophets of the Most High is in the I.S.U.P.K and a commanding general, YAHANNA. You know what I mean? We teach the Bible. And we tell you, say the Bible say you need to keep the Passover. It's a statute forever. You can't stop keep it. Let me continue reading. Save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. So, you know what I mean? Don't go, no work, no fuck up on them holy day. You know what I mean? Prepare the Passover. You know what I mean? If you have the means, attend the I.S.U.P.K Passover. You know what I mean? And join the holy convocation. You know what I mean? And the feast of unleavened bread. You understand? This is your holy day. This is what you should take pride in. You understand? Let me continue reading verse 17. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this selfsame day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in the generation, in your generations by an ordinance forever. And you see the Most High is not a temporary God, you know him. Do something and say, all right, done. So when the Most High said do something, it means you have to do it ever. Don't ever stop doing it. So the laws of the Most High is still in effect. You're a Christian pastor, so well, you know what I mean, you're saved by grace, and you know what I mean. So what that mean? That mean you can be a homosexual? That mean you can murder? That mean you can steal your brother's wife, like the pastor does? All of these the pastor do, and tell you that the laws is done away with to justify you not keeping the Most High law, or justify him not keeping the Most High law. But the Most High is not the author of confusion. The Most High say you must keep them forever. You know what I mean? Isn't it still murder if you murder somebody? Isn't it still stealing if you steal from somebody? How can the law be done away with? Law can't done away with. It is the law that makes sure, say, you know what I mean, you don't do your brother any wrong, and your brother don't do you any wrong. So what? You have a time where we can just violate each other? Is that what Pastor Pork Chop is saying? That, no man, the laws is done away with. We are free to violate each other. Is that Pastor saying? You can now murder your brother. You can now sleep with his wife. You can now molest his children. The law is done away with. That is what Pastor Pork Chop is saying. But the Bible no support that. You understand? Bible no depend that, brethren. The most I give with them thing you have to keep forever. So you gotta have peace. So you gotta have, you know what I mean? No crime, no violence, no murder. When we keep the most high law, this is the solution to our problem that we have here in Jamaica. You understand? Let me continue reading. See? Right. Verse 18. In the first month and the 14th day of the month, at even ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even. Verse 19. 7 days shall there be no leavened bread, slack your leaven found in your house, for whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be stranger or born in the land. Verse 20. Ye shall eat nothing leavened in all your habitation, shall ye eat unleavened bread. Verse 21. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families and kill the Passover. See? Continue reading verse 22. And he shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin, and none of you shall go out at the door of his house. So mark the house, mark the doorpost, and don't come out of the house there. Because guess what? The Most High send him killer out in the land of Egypt. Don't make him buck you out there, brethren. Stay in your house. Do what the Most High say. All right, let me tell you something. You see, at this time, we never think twice. But for listen what the Most High say, because we know death forward in the brethren. And we don't want to get caught up in with the judgment where the Most High have for the Egyptian them. So why our people is so stubborn today? What we think the Most High change? Most High no change, brother. Right now, the Most High in him anger. You see right now, probably if we get a chance, we see the Most High face right now. Him probably more angry now than how him was when we were in Egypt. Because now he might get ready to do the final, dish out the final judgment on that place. Yeah. And right now, him cup supposed to full right now. Finally, him get fit, put the earth in order, and now if we go through we and we're complaining and the Edens and them filthiness. Finally. So now is the time where, more than ever, now is the time when we need to start keep these laws. You want me to give you proof so the Most High angry right now and the Most High get ready to do some damage right now? Trust me, I live in interesting times, brethren. Very, very interesting times. There was never a time like now. May I tell you straight? You understand? There was never upon the face of the earth, not even when Noah and the flood, brethren, there has never been a time like what we're living in now. I'm give you the proof. The plagues them start already, coronavirus. Why is that still amongst us? Why haven't that plague gone already? Them not create too much vaccine for it. Why is this thing mutating and turning into different things and resurging? What can it resurge and become? That is the question. Can it resurge and become even more deadly? Yes, it can, obviously. And it will. And guess what? More plagues out there. You have the bird flu spreading right now. You soon can't get chicken and eggs. You understand? That is tearing down America and Israel and other countries right now. You understand? And you have the monkeypox. You have so many plagues now where you're going to find a time when all these plagues are going to be, you know what I mean, simultaneously on a rise and basically become a pandemic. See? Not only that, the war kick off. World War III starting now. We are trying to tell you, now. We now say, all right, we are now watching news and we say, all right. Yeah, the hype about it gone down somewhat. Bridging. A World War III, we know. You know, they are the climax of World War III yet. But it's World War III. The nuclear bomb them not start drop yet. But this is World War III we are living in right now. And you see when the nuclear root, and you see when the rest of the plague them forward, all of that are going to just come simultaneously, one time. That's why I tell you, you're living at the most interesting time now. There has never been a time like this. And the way the Bible describe it, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You understand? The Christian pastor not talk about them something like that. The Christian pastor thinks, here the Christian pastor think about the war. The Christian pastor think the war is Satan bringing the war. And your Christian pastor is praying and hoping that this war subsides. The Christian pastor think of Satan send the coronavirus. See? And your Christian pastor is praying against the coronavirus, but your Christian pastor has yet to heal anybody that had the coronavirus, which proves that he is no prophet of the Most High. As a matter of fact, he did have locked down in church. The restriction lifted now, still, till until something else come. See? So now I'm able to go back and take your money. You're able to collect your offering now. He might come with a new doctrine, The doctrine in the I.S.U.P.K and a commanding general, YAHANNA, from 1969 have not changed. I see in Bible. And even when this wasn't popular, even when, there was no sign of any plague, commanding general YAHANNA was always saying, plagues are forward. And people are saying, plague what that? What you talking about? Plague? World War III are forward. Nobody now hear that. But no, World War III, they would do another plague them. And this is the mildest part of it, brethren. This is the time, all right. Just look on this as the time where the Most High say, listen, when you see this go on now, start. Get together, gather. Come out of the white man world. Come out of Christianity. Come out of Christmas. Come out of Easter. Come out of Rastafarianism. No. I get ready for F up that place here. And I'm going to give a little time. But in time has been mostly spent. Him now no more time for give nobody. He might give you the chance for come in at the truth, learn your history, learn your culture, keep these laws, keep the Passover, keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Come together as a people. Stop celebrating Easter, Christmas, Valentine's Day and them things. Come out of Christianity, come out of Rasta, come out of Muslim, come out of Hinduism. That he might tell you to do right, You know what I mean? It's like a blowtorch, You know, it's light it, but it not start blow it, but it light. This thing a light, brethren, or consider it like a bomb or a grenade. The fuse light, but it not reach down in the but I think I mean dynamite, right? The fuse light, but the fuse don't reach down into the dynamite itself yet. But you see when it reaches the submerging, that will be devastating. Get up on the fuse, the fuse are burn right now, road boy. You understand? You need to get away from that damn dynamite as far as possible. Because if you get caught anywhere near that dynamite, road boy, you're going to die. You understand? And the only place to escape that dynamite is to come into I.S.U.P.K and the commanding general, YAHANNA. You understand? Let me continue reading, because I want to read off the whole of this. See? Verse 23, for the Lord will pass through and smite the Egyptians, and when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and upon the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your house to smite you. Verse 24, and he shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever. Verse 25, and it shall come to pass when ye be come to the land which the Lord will give you according as he hath promised, he shall keep this service You understand? Let me continue reading. Verse 27, that he shall say, it is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses, and the people bowed the head and worship. Verse 28, and the children of Israel went away and did as the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron. So did they. Verse 29, and it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt. Midnight. See? So we do what the Most High say for do, and we want to follow the pattern, you know. The Most High tell the prophets to pass on some information to the people because he's getting ready to do something, right? The prophets pass on the information to the people, and the people do what the prophet tell the people to do. You see, after that, then the Most High act. And now is you seeing a repeat of that. You're seeing the prophets in the I.S.U.P.K telling you to stop eat pork. You understand? Stop murdering your brother. Stop celebrating Christmas. Come out of Christianity and Rastafariism. You know what I mean? Clean up your folly grounds. Come, you know what I mean, into the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding general, YAHANNA. Come back to your covenant to the Most High. Learn this history. Learn this, you know what I mean? Learn these laws, statutes, and commandments. And you see what I want to do that? You know what I mean? If a good amount I want to do that, then you're going to start see the judgment start fall. But guess what? If none of you not do it, judgment still go forward. The instruction is out though. You understand? Let me continue reading. Verse 28, and the children of Israel went away and did as the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron. So did they. Verse 29, and it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne unto the firstborn of the captain that was in the dungeon, captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle. So even cattle died. Even the cows, the Most High kill, even the sheep, even the goats, the firstborn, from they were a firstborn, they died. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, that is how serious our power is. You understand? Verse 30, and Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead. So the Most High killed something in every house of the Egyptian. Any house will never have the Passover blood upon the doorpost and the lintel. You know what I mean? Somebody died in that house. You understand? Yeah, man, we serve a power when no normal, man. Him no play. All right. The Christian church, they are evil thing, you know. The Christian church turned the Most High into a genie. See? But you see, the God will create this world that we live in that is so, you know what I mean, precise and so overwhelming at times and so vast that can't be a simple brother in a virgin. Just looking around, you know, if you see him, you know, just look at what he create and you say, you know, for ramp with that person, you know, that person is not a joker. You see what I say? This person is not a joker. This person, where you look around at nothing that the Most High create feels. Gravity don't feel. The sun don't feel. The moon don't feel. The star don't feel. The particles that create everything don't feel, virgin. By looking at that alone and see how complex our built up is, you know what I mean? Even the body that we dwell in is so complex. So much billion blood cells carry oxygen to your brain and other cells. And you not have no knowledge of what they are doing. Your heart beat without your knowledge. Even your breathing, for the most part, is, you know what I mean, it is not you are do it. The person who made that bridging, who designed that, the person who do all of that, I know somebody for ramp with, brother. And that's why we are trying to get our people out of the Christian mindset, brethren. Christianity make una ramp with God, brethren. Una play with the Most High like una feel like the Most High some little pitney. Most High is not somebody to play with, brethren. You don't even have to see him judgment them for no say you're not for ramp with him. Just look on the things them when him create. The very sun will give light a man in time, if that should ever fall out of the sky and lick us. Everything upon this earth, every single person, gone. There would be none of us left. I don't think you would have any even living organ left. So the most I just put it up there to just give us light and vitamin D. You understand? It's like the Most High, yo, tell you know the sun come like the Most High using a sword for peel an orange. You see that man a peel the orange with a sword, you know. You keep your eye on the sword because you see at any time you can chop off your head with a sword there, you know. That is the sun in the sky. See? And the Most High, it's not his will to take that sword and chop off your head. Him just show you say, yo, look here. It's a sword may I use peel an orange. See? Don't ramp with me. But Christians play with the Most High every day. Like them think God have a joke. Anyway, let me continue reading. All right. Verse 30, and Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants, and all the Egyptians. And there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead. Let me continue reading. Verse 31, and he called for Moses and Aaron by night and said, rise from among my people and more quick. See? And you and your people come out of a place because guess what? Them are dead off. Because of the God where we serve, the oppressor, the slave master. Just imagine you're in prison. Right? And because, you know what I mean? All right, for example, you end up in jail, right? And somebody come for break you out. See? And the damage where them start do to the warders them and the police them. See? The police them decide say, yo, we need to come out here. No, free up, come out. That is what the Most High did to the Egyptian them, you know. The Egyptian them had us under full subjection, you know. And because of what was happening to them, they wanted us to cut yesterday. Them want to cut yesterday, brother. You understand? Give up complete power over us. You know what I mean? And say, yo, no leave. No, because, you know what I mean? Come like them are dead off. Let me continue reading. See? Slovakia. For there was not a house where there was not one dead. Verse 31. And he called for Moses and Aaron by night and said, rise up and get you forth from among my people, both he and the children of Israel, and go serve the Lord, as ye have said. Verse 32. Also take your flocks and your herds, as ye have said, and be gone, and bless me also. So not only the Egyptians want us gone, they want to pray for them too. They want to pray for them. You know what I mean? That is the God where we serve, brother. Oh, God no ramp with people. You understand? Let me continue reading. Him certainly never ramp with we when he make we go into slavery. We should know. Say him no play with people. Look at us now. Him no play with. You understand? Let me continue reading. Verse 32, also, Slakia. Verse 33, and the Egyptians were urgent upon the people that they might send them out of the land in haste. For they said, we be all dead men. Yo, let me read this, you know what I mean? You just have to give the Most High enough respect, brethren. The Egyptians them say, we be all dead men. Because there was nothing they could have done to prevent the Most High from killing them. And these were our oppressors. You understand? Let me continue reading. Verse 34. And the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading trough, being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders. Verse 35. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses, and they borrowed of the Egyptian jewels and silvers and jewels of gold and raiment. So not only did we leave out of that filthy land of Egypt, we take them gold and them silver and them all of them jewels. We spoil them. You know what I mean? We spoil them. We take the thing. Probably we make them get it anyway because we were there serving them for free. That is the same way we'll be spoiling these other nations. You know what I mean? We will be spoiling these other nations, taking all their wealth. You know what I mean? Because they made the wealth off of us anyway. I know nothing. It's not robbery. We deserve it. You understand? Let me continue reading. Verse 36, and the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such thing as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians. And when it say lent, it don't mean like the Egyptian them say, all right, borrow this and bring it back. When them say lent, it mean take. You understand? Verse 37, and the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot, that were men beside children. Verse 38, and a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks and herds, even very much cattle. Right. So we can stop there. You understand? Let me see if I have enough time, can. All right, I'll clip it. I'll clip it right there. So, see? Yeah. The Passover is not a joke holiday and a Christmas. You see me? The Passover is not Christmas. You know what I mean? That is meaningless. That was built upon a lie. You understand? And layers of lies. Christmas is built upon layers of lies. Let me explain. The real purpose of Christmas is the serving of Nimrod. You understand? Tammuz. See? But what do they call the serving of Christmas today? You're celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. So it's layers of lies. The Passover is plain and straight. See? Plain and straight. The Most High kill with enemy and free way out of Egypt. You better give thanks. Celebrate that every year. You know what I mean? The Most High, him nah beat around the bush. We save you out of Egypt. Now we go to the security announcements. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also leave a comment. All right, these are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, The brother chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. It means 10th in the Hebrew and it's pronounced Ma'aishara. 10% per penny of any increase the Lord gives you, mandatory. Whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation. All right, so the next upcoming Holy Convocation is the closing of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is on Sunday. We are currently in the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It's 7 days. So it starts Saturday and it will end on Sunday. You understand? Friday, as I mentioned before, is the Passover. You understand? And it was glorious for those who, you know what I mean, was, I understand. Yeah, man, I'm sorry I wasn't able to be there probably next year. You understand? All right, so after the closing of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, you know what I mean, then we'll have the Feast of First Fruit, you understand, which starts after the Sabbath. You know what I mean? Slakia. That is sundown Saturday, April 23. You understand? 2022. Count 50. Slakia. Let me get this straight, right? Feast of First Fruit, right? Slakia. Count 50 days. Celebrate the 50th day. Slakia. Sunday, June the 12th. 2022 starts before sundown. You can find this in the book of Leviticus chapter 23, verse 10 to 22. All right. Reminding Akiam and Aquatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, social media. If a brother wants, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we say, I Imanu, which means to stand. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and then in English. Sar, Wapanya Akwadam, which means turn and face the east. Abanawa, Shabashamaya, Kwadash, Aya, Shamka, Yahawa, Malakwatka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Aya, Aisha, Ba'arat, Maya, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaklanawa, Kawabwat Nawa, Kasalat Nawa, Kawabwat Yanawa, Wala'a, Tabaya Anawa, Wanasayawa, Abal, Awashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwat, Wa'ala, Wahataparat, La'aiwalamya, Aman. In English, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our forgive our debtors. The kingdom and the power and the glory forever so be. Amen. Our King of heaven and earth and all things living, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen. That speak against us thy prophets, brothers, and school, send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. To the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airways, cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the Edens that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let YAHANNA, Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that has done it. Cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of YAHANNA, thank you always, so be it. All right, this is the prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'asham YAHANNA, Baba Kosha, Nathan Lanawa, Akak, Larpa'a, Kal Makala, Wakal Madawa, Akak, Lata'ar, Amatazaraya, Akak, La Aquaya, Amathiam, Akak, Alrakawa, Atamala, La Garashan, Ba'asham YAHANNA, Tawada Aman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of YAHANNA, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of YAHANNA. Thank you, so be it. Silakia, while I pull up the prayer for the blessings. Silakia. All right, this is a prayer for the blessings. Yahweh, Sham Yahawashai, Raklanawa, Yasharala, Bayatsaparia, Barak, Rapa'a, Magan, Hagan, commanding General YAHANNA, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, the young men and the sisters, Sham Yahawashai, toward our man. In the English, this is what we say. Yahweh, in the name of Yahawashai, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahawashai, thank you, so be it. All right, sir. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. I.S.U.P.K. Barak. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashai Brakatam. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel. I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Ba'Shem Yahawashai. Yadamata. Class dismissed. All right, if you have any questions, just leave it in the comment section. You understand? All right, so you have YAHANNA, which said I, you know what I mean, a Facebook user. Slakia, Rebecca Brown from North Carolina. Shalom, sis. You know what I mean? And another Facebook user said shalom. All right, shalom to everybody who, you know what I mean, tune in to the end of the class. You know what I mean? Tomorrow would be our Wednesday night law class. You know what I mean? Officer Abadawan, Officer of 1,000 Abadawan will be teaching that class. So remember to subscribe, click the notification bell so that whenever we go live, you get that notification. All right? You know what I mean? And with that, Shalom.
In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel were the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said he would send plagues upon the earth before he frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K. Jamaica. Shalom.